Hello, Ida.
Hi, Nicole.
And hello, grateful bitches. We've been on this call for about half an hour now,
Yes,
but
we're
we're gonna
finally
say
doing
hello
an
now.
introduction. A little hello, a proper hello, as we said.
Proper hello. And I think we should do a proper grateful bitch moment, and then I'll get into my crayons
I
because it's a part
also
of it.
think so.
I'm gonna let you go first. Hit me.
Ooh, I feel like my grateful bitch moment is that this week we've had like proper summer in Norway. And I just want to say, like, that is not to
Oh
be
my
taken
God,
for
true.
granted because, like, we've spoken about Norwegian summer. It's, you never know.
I feel like I'm gonna put on while you're talking. I'm gonna pull up the pictures you sent me yesterday so
Oh,
that I can
yeah.
look at them.
It's beautiful and with the nature and the lakes and the forest and everything. And it's
Mm.
just the colors are so clear. I'm just like, the sky is so blue. The trees are so green. So, yeah, I feel
That
like that
makes me
is my
so
grateful bitch moment
happy.
because, yeah, like I'm saying, it is not to be taken for granted because you never, never know when you spend summer. Here is like, you never know what you're going to get. So, we have had like a
Oh.
full week with like super nice weather. And I'm just like, thank you, God, universe, whoever, like, served
I
this up for me,
know.
but I'm
How
so
is it that
grateful.
you've had all this beautiful weather and it's just been like flood advisories? We had a tornado.
Right? It's like,
This is
what is
Texas. We own
happening?
summer. Like we're supposed to have the best summers next to
And
Florida.
now, yeah. But I think this is the thing now, like with global
Mm,
warming and everything, it's like
it's so
obviously
beautiful.
here it was colder before. So now when the temperature is increasing, it's like becoming like a nice summer. But where there before was nice summer, now it's becoming like extreme weather, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And that's global warming for you. Next.
Exactly. And then moving on.
Moving
What
on.
is your grateful bitch moment, Nicole?
My grateful bitch moment. My grateful bitch moment. God, let's see. Yesterday I went into the store and then they have school supplies out, like back to school shopping, which I love back to school shopping. I don't go to school. I still want to buy markers and pens and like binders and stuff. And I found this pack of crayons like just sitting there and it's neon and they're so cute and they glow under a
Neon
black light.
crayons.
Long story short, I found out that there was a rumor that my shift was like the party shift or like the fun crew. And I don't want to take credit for starting that rumor or maybe being the reason for it, but I will.
I 100% believe so. I don't have no clue who your colleagues are, but I would not be surprised if it's like, well, it's mainly because of Nicole.
Well, fun is my job. So, like, to be called the fun crew, it made me think, I was like, you know what? That is like low key really cool. It's like, I always want to be like the fun person, like the party person. And then on lunch, I was like, well, how can I make my day more fun? I was like, how can we really take the party crew? And I was like, I'm going to buy these crayons because I want to color the rest of my shift. And you know how many people were so happy? Like they were so excited by the crayons and it just made me like so happy. And I was like, it's so funny that like a $3 box of crayons like literally made somebody feel this excited. Like
Right?
literally, that's all it takes. Like that's
Yeah.
all it takes.
Like the
And
simple joys, you know? And I feel like very often,
yes.
like the things we maybe think that's maybe a little bit childish, but those are the things that becomes like a real hit and that people are like, oh my God, this is
Yes.
so much fun.
Yes, and it just like it lightens the mood. Like it's just why do we take it so seriously, you know? But I was really grateful because I feel like I don't know, I feel like the lessons of the universe really have always been pointing back like we've been talking about with more play, and I feel like this week was really like that was the main focus. And I think like I'm just really grateful that I'm finally getting it. Like I'm finally getting it. Like I am finally understanding that my type A over attentive, controlling ass behavior is just like what I thought made me successful, but it's actually the complete opposite of what made me successful. And
Yeah.
I just took me 30 years to realize it, but it's not a big deal.
Exactly. Better
It's not
sooner
a
than
big
later.
deal.
I mean, it's still, you still have so much life to live.
Oh yeah, that's my grateful bitch moment. It made me very happy. And my roses, of course, because I can't believe that I found them.
Yes.
I was just, and they're so beautiful. And like I said, but that's what I'm saying. Like I have been trying to force myself to clean my room, but as soon as I bought the roses, I was like, oh, I'm gonna clean my room.
Mm.
Like 1000%. And
Yeah.
I think like the thing you're avoiding, like maybe you're avoiding it because you're not looking at it with the right perspective. Like maybe like you need to find a way to make it fun no matter what. Like Mary
Yeah.
Poppins, that shit is how I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I agree
I
though,
think
and I
so.
kind of just feel like, I feel like lately we've been having this as a theme too, where like it's okay to prioritize beauty. And I just kind of feel like, say, buying the flowers and like it's a way of prioritizing beauty. And then you're just, yeah, like inspired to make everything else like
Yeah.
more beautiful, you know?
Oh, that's sweet. I actually love that. It's like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's like, what do they call it? The Diderot effect? Yes. It's like,
That's
yes, I heard it in a book one time. I read it in a book one
one
time.
time. That one book I read at one
That
time,
one book I read.
they mentioned it.
It's the idea where it's like, well, when you like change, like, I don't know, like if you start doing your nails, okay, well then your nails are you're gonna want to start like maybe looking a little bit cuter, like putting on lip gloss or doing this. Like it's one thing that inspires you to do the next one thing and the next and the next and the next, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wow. I was like, you look like an entirely different person, or like your
Yeah.
life looks like a totally different version of what it used to be because it's like it's making everything, and maybe that's the idea, like everything that doesn't fit into your life or fit into that thing, it just makes it so obvious, you
Mm.
know?
Mm.
Like anything that doesn't look beautiful, well, like those roses are gonna point it out. You're like, ew, okay, well that looks ugly because that does not match. I'm gonna change that or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know if maybe that's the point of the Mercury retrograde. I have no idea. I haven't really been looking into it that much, but I kind of
No, me
feel like that's
neither.
what's coming up with me
Yeah.
is like,
It's like step by step, like one step at a time, and the next thing will come too. I feel like 'cause that's the thing too, like, and maybe you look at your house and you're just like, I want to change something, but I don't know what. Or like maybe you want to change everything and it just feels overwhelming. But then you're like,
mhm,
okay, I'm gonna just start by painting this wall, for example. And then suddenly you're like, oh,
yeah.
next thing is this, and the next thing is that, the next thing is that. Whereas when you
Ooh,
just see out the whole picture. And I,
I'm
I
gonna
feel like
paint my
I need
bathroom
that
pink.
reminder. Yeah.
You're making me
Oh,
think.
I
I was
love
like, I'm
that.
looking, I was like, "Well, I could paint my bathroom pink." I was like, "That could be the one thing I do."
Yeah. I would want to like my house to just be so colorful, and I would want like nothing to make sense.
That would be so cute. Like, there's this hotel out in the wine country.
Okay.
Every room has a different theme, and it has, like, a
Yeah.
James Bond room, a Golden Girls room, and it's styled like them, and it's so fucking cute, and I love it. And I was like, "I would want that for my house." I feel like as adults, like, we just lose that imagination, you know? And we
Uh-huh.
just do. And I think this is something I was thinking about too. Like the people who are most successful are the people who have like the most curated worlds in a sense. Like they have their personal aesthetic set, which I think is a big thing. And they don't follow anybody else's personal aesthetic. Or they have like just a very defined vision in a sense. And they do things exactly the way they want to. And that's what makes other people want to do what they're doing, which is really interesting to me. And I feel like I'm gonna start defining that a little bit more for myself, you know? Like, look at all of the things that I've gathered over the last, like, 10 years and be like, "Okay, well, what's actually Nicole? Like, what
Yeah.
do I actually enjoy?" Like, down to the very details, which might take me
I
the next
love
6
that.
months, but it's fine. I
Yeah.
mean, what
I
else is
feel
your
like
30s for? Like, your
exactly. That's
1st year
also
of
kind
being
of what I
30.
feel, where it's like,
It's
okay,
like
we
a filter.
are, yeah, like we are entering or have entered our 30s. Like it is also a different like time and theme of our
Like,
lives.
your birthday's literally a month
I
away.
know. I think
Wait.
now these days, I'm not sure when, but we are entering Leo season. So I'm like, she's soon in season.
What? What? I just realized that.
I know and because this year I haven't thought about it that much. I'm really just like, how is it like less than a month away?
That is crazy. You're gonna be
Hmm.
yeah, you're gonna be 30. I'm so
I
excited. I
know.
am so excited. Wait, are you gonna be in Barcelona or you'll still be in Norway?
No, in Copenhagen actually. None of the two.
So you're making sending a package like a little bit complicated.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
thinking right now, I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's lame
Like,
because now I'm gonna have to wait till I get
Ida.
back to Spain. Yeah. It's kind of annoying.
I don't even know how it feels because yeah, part of me is like, okay, it feels big to turn 30. Part of me is like I'm saying, I haven't really thought about it that much. So I'm just like, I don't know how it will be.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
It's
I also
amazing.
think so. I also
It's
think so.
fun. But I really do like I genuinely feel like it's just like 30 is like, it's your breakout year, but I think, like I said, like, it's also you filtering out a bunch of stuff from your 20s. Like, it's like, "Oh, wait, no, I don't need that. I did not need that. That was a lesson. We're good. Okay, I really like doing this or that," and you get to actually see I don't know, it's like the idea where you actually get to see, like, what parts of my life were really mine that I did for me, what
Mhm.
parts that I just do for other people, and then how like,
Yes.
I just think it becomes very clear in a way, and
Yeah.
it feels like I don't know. It feels like you actually have the brain power now to decide. Like, it's I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, maybe in
I
your
also just really
20s,
feel
you just
like
didn't.
yeah, I also just feel like it's very much a theme like that has been not even just for me, but like around me lately too, that has come up like in conversations with friends without me bringing it up, where it's just like kind of like, who am I on my own? Who am I without any like distractions, without any like influence from other people, from society, etc., etc. I feel like that's very much like a theme I'm in now. Just like, I feel like also with the experiment, it opened my eyes in the sense of like we were talking about, like what is actually fun to me? Like, what would I do if fun was my only objective in a day? And then realizing kind of like, oh, I don't really know. Like, what is it actually that I want to do? And obviously there's a balance there between like, you know, being in the moment and realizing that it's the journey and not the goal itself necessarily,
Yeah, yeah.
but at the same time like finding who you are in that process, you know. So I really feel like that's my theme these days, and maybe for the rest of the year, I don't know, maybe for longer, where it's just like, who am I, like when you take away like all these other influences, like what is it actually that
Mhm.
I want and what is it actually that I like? Because I'm realizing that, yeah, like I don't know, even though I've made like many maybe like surprising and like what's the word, like unconventional like decisions in
Mhm.
my life, it's been mine because it's like I've followed my intuition, but at the same time I don't necessarily know why, you know, like
Yeah.
why did I do that? Like whenever people ask me like, why did you move to Barcelona, I'm like, well, I don't really know. Like there was just this nudge, which is obviously like my intuition that I didn't know at the time, but like I don't really have a reason why. So there's like many things I've done where I'm like, well, I don't really know why. I'm very happy I did it. And like, I know I had this feeling telling me, or this voice saying like, this is your next move. So like, do it. But at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time, I have no idea why, because I didn't ask myself those questions at that time. No? So now I feel like I'm
Mm.
learning that to just like, okay, why do I want this? Or like, what do I want to do? And then, yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting.
That is very, very interesting. Like, what maybe the idea is like, what is your genuine motivation and drive? And I think that's a good question because I feel like it's different for everybody. I felt that way. I'm like, what I'm motivated by is so different than what other people are motivated by. Like, you really do have to do things for your own reason.
Yeah, and I do feel like, yeah, I don't know my motivation for like everything I'm doing in a way. And like, yes, like, you know, it's the I want to have fun, I want to have flexibility, but like I kind of feel like this is what we kind of touched in on like
Me pulling
last
up your chart.
episode, where with like the tools, where like even though fun is like a goal itself, it's not necessarily like my motivation, you know. It's like, well,
Mm.
okay, why do I want to have fun? You know, I kind of feel like that's I need to ask myself more like why, because I feel like when, yeah, like we've been talking about too, like the essence, like what is the essence of what you want, you know.
Mm. Yeah, like what's the thing behind the thing that you
Yeah.
genuinely desire? I kind of feel that way too. Like when you said like why do you want to have more fun? And I'm like, well, it's because it makes me feel lighter. Like it
Mm.
makes me feel just it gives me more happiness. And I was like, I feel like genuine happiness. And maybe sometimes I feel like if I had more money in my bank account or I had this, like it would give me happiness, but that's not really true. Like enjoying the things that I have give me more happiness. It's not so much having the things that give you happiness, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
Mm.
And I've been feeling that way too, where I'm like, maybe I've twisted my goals a little bit with some false motivation. But
Yeah.
yeah, like, why do I want more freedom? Well, freedom, like, what is the essence behind freedom? I was like, I just want to be more. And because we talked about this, but like, we
I think
talked about this.
that.
In the sense, I'm like, freedom is also just a tool. Like, some people work
Exactly.
80 hours a week and they are thrilled. They love it. They don't
Yeah.
need more freedom. But for me, I'm like, freedom means, like we said, like slow mornings. I'm like, but why do I enjoy slow mornings? I'm like, because it allows me to feel the day. Like, it allows me to just be. It allows me to feel like my body and what I want and just like relax and just feel like I'm living. I think my only regret in my 30s is taking life too seriously.
Mm.
And I want to feel what it's like to not take life seriously whatsoever.
Yeah.
And like, oh, something that I have been doing, this is gonna go on another tangent, but something that I have been doing this week is like the what went right list, and not in the sense of like what went right as far as like what I did right, what did I do to be productive and blah, blah, blah. But like my what went right list is like what made me happy today? What did I do that made me genuinely feel like myself? It genuinely has made me be like, oh, there's so many things that I do that are actually for Nicole on a daily basis. I think maybe that's what gave me clarity. It was like, oh, the moments that make me happiest are the moments where I'm like being silly. And that's where I was like, I really do think like happiness is something that I genuinely want, but I just have a misconstrued idea of happiness. And maybe that's the idea is like maybe the motivation is happiness, but what does happiness look like for you? What genuinely makes you happy? And
Yeah.
how do you do more of that on a daily basis?
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
And I feel like that's what I want to like yeah, first of all, like you're saying, like asking those questions, but then also yeah, like kind of do some digging, you know, because that's what I feel like where I'm like, okay, well, for example, what does flexibility mean to me? And then okay, yeah, like maybe slow mornings, this and that. And then okay, like, why do I enjoy that? And then I could easily come back to like because it gives me flexibility. You know, so it's like a circle where then it's like, well, why does it give you flexibility? You know, like just kind of keep on digging. That's what I feel like I
Yeah.
need. Just like really, okay, but why? But why? But why?
You know, it's interesting. I had to pull up your human design. But like I just feel like your personality is like the great life experimenter, and I feel like I'm curious if we did a little digging like what phases you go through because like my personality type has a very distinct phase in which like at 30 you go into one phase, at like 50 you go into the next phase. Like that's just how it is. Which
Hmm.
has been very true and spot on to the way that I've been feeling since I turned 30. But I'm wondering, like, and this is just me talking out my ass because I'm not sure. But with the Great Life Experimenter, I wonder if, like, you're at this point now where it's like you've run a bunch of experiments, have you not? And
In
it's
a way,
like,
yeah.
in a way, right? And it's like now you're kind of getting like the data from all of these hypotheses, all of these experiments that you run, everything that you've been interested in or has or hasn't worked out. And it's like, okay, but why? And like, what's next? And like, why do I want what's next? You know, like, what is the motivation for the next experiments? Like, what are the
Yeah.
next things that I want to solve? Because I think that's part of what you do is like most people don't think like you. I will say, like, I feel like they probably don't, and you just have like a very strong mind, and like I think for you it's very important to get to like underneath, like to get to the why, like to figure it
Mm.
out. And I don't
Mm.
know, maybe that's what 30's about for you is like figuring it
Maybe.
out.
Yeah. And I do kind of feel that where it's like, yeah, I think if I don't ask myself why, or like really ask myself like go into depth like how that felt or this and that like then I could just for the rest of my life like run experiments which not necessarily is a bad thing but it's just like I feel like if I never ask myself properly like why what etc I will just never have the answer from the experiment if that makes sense I will just jump
Yeah,
on to
yeah.
the next experiment be like oh this circle is closed like next you know. Whereas if I actually ask myself why, I will also figure out like, oh, what did work for me, what
Yeah.
didn't work for me, like what do I want to do again, or like do in a different way, or what do I just kind of want to throw out, like this was not for me, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, I'm curious. I think it would be kind of fun if you did some journaling up into your birthday or something, or like voice notes. And I'm curious. I'm going to do some digging because I am curious. I'm like, I don't know what your next phase looks like, but
Me
I
neither.
wonder.
And that stresses me out a little bit. I have to be honest.
Well, because like mine's called the rooftop phase. So like you go to the rooftop and you get like you become very objective, which is really how I've been feeling
Oh.
because all of my 20's I had very strong points of view. Like whether it was one way or the other. Because I went from a complete atheist to a complete like conservative Christian to then like ditching that. Then I went all the way to like manifestation and I stopped reading any scripture. Like I believe it's all one and the same, but I stopped doing all that. So I went through like all of these weird extremes and then I just like wasn't doing
Mm.
anything. And that's like just in spirituality, but also with like my all my other beliefs, political, personal, like etc. I've been from extreme to extreme to extreme and having one single point of view and trying all of these very different ways of being and living and thinking for the last like 10 years. And
Mm.
I made it, I was like, oh, that just means like I can't commit to anything. Like I'm just like
Yeah, right? I was
it
like,
made
oh,
me
I
feel like
always have to
what?
try something new.
Yeah, I was like, what a mess. And then when I found my human design, I was like, oh, that's like how it was supposed to be. Like, okay, I was just
Yeah.
testing stuff. Like, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
And then, like, my age 30, it's like, okay, well, now you're gonna get an objective person like, point of view, and now when I'm trying, like, to be like, "Oh, no, but this is the right answer," I'm like, "But now I'm to the point where I'm like, is anything the right answer? Nothing's the right
Yeah.
answer." Like, all of it is just, like, a blend of knowledge. Like, all of it is just, like, something to know of, and it helps you, that's great, and I just have this very, like, objective, like, I don't feel personally tied to any one perspective. It's not me anymore, like, I can't explain it. It's very, very weird. And I was like and it's part of me thinking like I'm broken. I was like, "Oh my god."
Like, I lost my voice, or I lost my
Yeah,
opinions,
like,
or
I
I
feel like I lost
lost.
my voice.
Yeah. But it's really funny because I feel like in a way I have always been like that, where I've just kind of been like, I have my opinions, but I am not like a very I need to change position. I am not a very like opinionated person. Like I hate debates. I hate this. I'm just like, I don't like, in a way, I don't care what you think. I don't care if you think that what I think is wrong. I don't have anything like to say to change your mind, my mind. Like I'm just, can we just agree to disagree? I'm just like, just let me believe whatever I believe. Like, you know? And so I feel like I've in a way always kind of just been very much like, you do you, I couldn't care less what you believe. And then some people like tend then to tell me like, oh, Ida never has an opinion, or that they mistake it from like that I'm not able to say no. Where like maybe people ask me
Mm,
fair, I'm like, sure, like I don't care. I couldn't care less, even if it takes from my energy, my time. If you want me to do it, I'll do it. Like no matter how easy it would be for you to do it, like sure, if you ask me, I'll do it. Like I couldn't care
yeah.
less. And then people are like, Ira, you know, you're allowed to say no. I'm like, if I wouldn't want to do it, I would say no. So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like it's just funny because yeah, people like tend to
Mistake it.
think I'm just like letting people step over me, and I'm like I genuinely couldn't care less. Like honestly.
Yeah. 'Cause, like, I feel like we're in this stage where it's like, you know, because I feel the same way. I'm like someone told me yesterday actually at the friend desk, like, "Oh, you're being too nice." And
Mhm.
I was like, "I'm not too nice." Like, it's just the fact that, like
No.
I was like, I have a minute. I'm just gonna do this." It's like, I know what being too
No.
nice is, you know? Like, I
Yeah.
know what it's like not to have boundaries. But I was like, if I have an opportunity to help somebody, 9 times out of 10, I'd rather take it than not. Or
Mm.
even just like you said, okay, well, for if this is just gonna turn into an argument where we're both, like, kind of attacking each other and not I don't mind having a discussion, but I don't wanna sit here and just, like, argue and be like, "Why?" and pick things apart, like, 24/7. I don't judge their beliefs anymore. I just sit there and I'm like, "Well, that's really interesting that they think that," you know? And I'm just like and I wonder why. And then I just start looking, I'm like, "Oh, well, I can see how this shaped their life, how that shaped their life." And I just, like it's like my brain is just in this, like, notating state. Oh, and it's just like it's a light switch. Like, I don't know what happened. It just turned on. Like, a
Mm.
couple months ago, I was like,
Suddenly just like,
"What?"
hmm.
I was like, why am I wasting my energy?" I was like,
Yeah.
I thought
But I
of
feel like
like
that is part of getting older. And even though, like, I have to be honest and say, I feel like that lesson came to me maybe more like when I turned 20. Like, I feel like that's a
Mhm.
lesson I've learned a long time ago. Like, in the sense of just being like, yeah, like, I couldn't care less. And I feel like maybe that's also where it comes from. Like, I can't be bothered.
Leos were
Like,
born
I
unbothered,
can't be
okay?
bothered. And there's some things that bothers me immensely. So it's not like I'm unbothered on everything. I wish I was more like unbothered by things, but
Yeah,
especially when it comes to other people and their opinions and their lives, etc., etc., etc. I'm just like I couldn't care less, you know. And it's kind of it comes with good and bad because maybe sometimes like friends, maybe we just talk about a topic and they start like giving me advice when I'm like I didn't ask for them. I kind of stop listening because I'm just a bit like
yeah,
honestly, just like let me be on my journey. And I understand maybe this would make more sense, but like I'm on my journey. I just need to like do it my way. And maybe that's
yeah,
like I'm becoming stubborn. I don't know. But I'm just very much like I couldn't really care less of what other people do with their lives. Like I obviously wish the best for my friends and everything, but I'm just like, if you want to do something that I'm like seeing will obviously like mess your life up, like, you know, it's your life, it's your lesson to learn. Like, who am I to tell you what
yeah,
to do or not to do? So, like, it goes
yeah,
both ways where I'm just a bit like, yeah, I couldn't care less. You know?
yeah. I finally got in there and it's nice. For an opinion and sometimes they do. I'm like, well, this is what I think. And sometimes things like turn out better than you think because you made a mistake or maybe you made something that you thought was a mistake and it actually turned out to be great. Like, I don't know how it's going to go.
Exactly.
It's your life journey.
No.
Like, I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
disappointed in
yeah.
anyone, you
No,
know?
I'm also just feeling like there's nothing you could do that would disappoint me, like we're saying within reason. Or it's just like,
Yeah, with
you know, it's
reason.
your life. And I kind of, yeah, feel like the sooner we realized that it's just like I'm on my journey, you're on yours, and it's great that our journeys like crossed, you know, and I'm not
Yeah.
now saying you and me, just in general with like the people in our
It
lives.
is great though.
Then it's also just like this is especially great that our paths crossed.
This is amazing.
but, but that it's also just like that doesn't mean that like it's my job to tell anyone what to do or tell them how to live their lives. And I just feel like, especially like I'm saying, it might be a lesson I learned in my early 20s, but it's like in my late 20s that I really had it like shown to me, because I felt like people were very opinionated about my life. And then I
Mm,
suddenly realized, like, oh my God, like, I'm so happy I'm not like this. Like, I'm so happy I'm just not giving people like my unasked opinion and whatever I
yeah.
think would be best for them, or giving reactions like, oh, like, are you kidding me when you tell them something? I'm just like, honestly, like, I rather have people then tell me I don't have an opinion. I let people walk over me, which is not true. But like, I'll rather
No,
have
no,
people
it's
have
not.
that perception
It's not.
than me
Let you do
being like
that.
one of these. Exactly. It's like if I really have an opinion, you'll know. And if I don't have
Yes,
an opinion, it's because I
I do.
genuinely couldn't care less. I genuinely. And I just feel like maybe that's something like a little bit rare. So then people, yeah, mistake it with like not having boundaries, not saying no, you know? But
I'm just thinking of the
genuinely, I
last
couldn't care
rant you
less.
sent me though, when you're like, "I'm sorry if this is a little bit, like, spicy." I don't know what you said. You
I
just
can't
fire
remember
rounds.
either what it
I'm just
was.
like I just, like, sometimes you just, like, talking, I just feel like you're just, like, throwing fireballs, like, at me, and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yes."
sometimes
I was
I'm
like, "I'm
also like,
feeling the heat. I'm feeling it."
yeah, but I think you know what is funny with this? I think that is like a lesson, like actually like giving those like harsh opinions in a way is something I learned in my later 20s, and I feel like there aren't many people I do that with. I think you are like one of very few, because like our friendship is so open, and I feel like really like I know she will not take it mean. Even if maybe you listen and you be like, ouch, I know you won't take it in a bad way, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
sometimes I'm sending a message and then I'm like, maybe a couple of hours later, I'm like, should I delete it? Like, was I too hard when I kind of like come to my senses again, let's say, or like had some time? I'm just like, should I apologize? Like,
No, never.
I don't know.
Never apologize. Never. I was talking this with my
Yeah.
with a coworker too. I was like, "Yeah, no, Ida should never apologize." And I was like, and I think most people shouldn't apologize. I was like, I'm kind of over this apologizing. I don't know, era that we're all in, because she was talking about this lady who like walked into a store and it was really gross, and she was putting the store on blast. She was like, I don't understand. They don't have fresh vegetables. Like they don't have this. They don't have that. And everyone took her down on the internet and was like, oh my God, like I can't believe you should apologize. And she ended up putting an apology video. And I was like, why do you have to? I was like, people just stop apologizing. I was like, if you
Yeah.
genuinely like, or even if you do say something really messed up or you really hurt someone, okay, fine, apologize like in your own life. But I was like, if you have an opinion about something and then people get upset and then you have to go back and apologize, I'm like, that's so stupid. Like, we
Yeah.
don't need to apologize for having strong opinions or for having something like that. I was like,
Mm.
I don't think so. Never apologize, Ida, because I like it, you know?
No.
And I was
And
like, and
I
if you
feel
have a
like
problem
this
with it,
is
it's your problem. It's not
exactly, and that was
theirs.
what I was gonna say, where I feel like that's what I trust in our friendship, is that I know that if I overstep at some point, then you will say
Yeah.
like, "Hey, Ida, like I understand this is your opinion, but like I don't appreciate when you take it in that
Yeah.
direction or whatever." But I kind of feel
Yeah.
like that's the thing where like at least for me, that's kind of the friendships I am looking for now, where there's like space for me to be me and you to be you. And then we can let the other person know, like, hey, I don't appreciate this. But it's just like until anyone tells you like they don't like that you are that way, be that way if that's who you are, you know?
Yeah. I'm just like, just, I don't, yeah, I kind of feel that way too. Like, just be who
Yeah,
you are. And if you need to adjust along the way, like, you'll get some feedback for that. Like, you know, like,
exactly.
but just be yourself. And too, because I've even had like people who have been complete jerks. And then, like, sometimes they apologize, sometimes they don't. And some, like, being in customer service, you're like, man, that guy's a real jerk. They should apologize, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like at some point, you're like, you don't need the apology. I think needing somebody's apology is kind of silly when you're grown up, but wanting that apology is kind of like playground mentality. I was like, need them to apologize. I just need to move on or move. I don't really need an apology from a grown ass person right now. My one grown up girl habit that I really hate is like saying I'm sorry. Like if I bump someone in
Yeah.
the hallway or something like that, like I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Or like I delay someone, I'm so sorry, or I'm so sorry, or hey, I'm sorry. Can I have this? Like, no, we have to stop it. We have
Yeah.
to stop that
Or like
habit.
when we
It's
send
so
voice messages
annoying.
back and forth where it's like, I'm so sorry for the long message. Or, I'm so sorry for so many messages. I'm so
No,
sorry for that. And it's like, no, but both of us do it. But
we
it's
both do it.
just like, if you had that much to say, like, then that's perfect. You know, then that's
Yeah.
what you needed to say in that message. And I'll take my time, listen. We are continuously like saying, sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
It's so
And then we're
stupid.
even saying, I shouldn't say I'm sorry, but I'm so sorry.
I know. It was like grown women should
That's
never say sorry. I just like
no.
that needs to be like stop saying sorry if you're a grown ass woman. Like we don't need to do that. Like guys
Yeah.
never apologize because they took up too much space. They never apologized for being the strongest guy on the team or for being like the most successful, for being the most anything. Like guys never apologize or feel bad for any of that shit.
Mm-mm.
I was like, why do that? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
why do I
I
do that
agree
as a
though.
female? It's
And you know
dumb.
one thing I want to be better at, maybe this is like what I want to be better at in my 30s is, you know, if you walk down the street and like maybe I'm like let's say we're two people and people coming towards us. Someone has to move. I am always the one moving. That's a habit I want to remove. Like honestly, no, like you fucking move. Like,
Yeah,
you know, I'm done with that because I feel like that is like
yes.
something just like being reflected like in my life that I am always the one moving
Every
because
day I walk down the
coming
sidewalk, it's being reflected.
yeah, I'm just whoo, 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 you know. No, but it also comes back to like I think that is like maybe a little bit like the backside of not giving like a fudge about whatever anyone is doing is
Yeah.
like I don't mind moving in that situation, but then also it's like why am I always the one who's gonna move? You know, where
Yeah.
it's like sometimes like the kind of unbotheredness or like not giving a fuck is like kind of also making you like what's the word just like yeah like
Like, maybe
move
there's a
to the
fine
side for
line.
other people like in every context if it's like literal or in a different way.
Like, I think there's maybe, like, a not giving a fuck, but then holding your ground at the same time. Like, there's a fine
Exactly.
line, and maybe that's the idea, and I've been thinking a lot about that, like, the opposite thing that we talked about, how, like, to do the opposite of what you've been doing the first half of the year, but I
Mm.
kind of feel like this is a life thing. Like, if what you've been doing the first half of your life, like, do the opposite the second half of your life, and I think, like, if the first half you've been way too accommodating to people and you're the one
Mm-hmm.
who always moves, you're the one who always, like, changes your plans, like, does everything, i.e., like, I would always like, I would pick up all my friends, I would always do, like I'd always change my schedule for other people, then,
Mm.
like, maybe you're not the one who moves going down the street, or maybe you stop being so accommodating. And then if you're the one who never budges, like maybe be the one that budges a little bit here and there, you know, because it goes both ways.
Yeah.
But I really think that that's true. And I do feel like women, maybe we tend to be more on the like, we're always the accommodating ones type of
Mm.
thing. And we are
Mm.
always making space. And I feel like I don't want to be so that way as much, you know? Like I want to be the one that's like, you know what? No, I was gonna do this, and even if it was just, like, sitting on my couch watching these episodes that I really wanted to watch, like, I'm gonna say no, and I'm just not gonna go out to dinner because I really didn't want to, and this is what I had planned for my Friday night, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
It
love
makes me
that
sound a little
kind of like tying it all together with like, yeah, what we have been talking about, like doing the opposite. And then also for me, like being an experimenter, maybe that's like my experiment for the next like
Ooh.
6 months. It's like doing the opposite, but in those, yeah, like not move to the side for other people, like just like hold my
Yeah.
path. Because like I'm saying, I do
I
feel
like
like even
that.
though that's a tiny example, it is like replicated into other situations in my life where it's just
Mm.
that's like
Yeah.
the visual. It's like a very clear visual of how I like kind of move my path or like change my path a tiny bit so that other people can be more comfortable.
Oh, you know what I heard the other day too that was crazy? Speaking of that is like if you're going to the moon or like when they fly off into space, if you're off by like a centimeter or I don't know what the tiniest unit of measurement was, by the
Mm.
time you go into space, like all the way out, like you're going to be thousands of millions of miles from your target because you were off by just like a centimeter. And when you were
Oh wow.
talking, I was kind of thinking like maybe it's not that serious, I don't know, but when we do make those little accommodations of our path for other people, even though we do have like a really good sense of, not like we know where we're going and it's like, this is what I want, but I'm going to accommodate it for you. I
Mm.
was like, how far off does that actually put us over time?
Mm.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
curious,
That is a very
like
good question and like
little by little by
example.
little, all of those little pieces, like, does that make me like thousands of miles away from my moon? Because I just didn't pay
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
That yeah, ugh, yeah, and I believe so. Like putting it that way,
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, also just because it's not just one accommodation of someone else. It's like it's not constantly, but like regularly.
Consistent. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like
That is
if it
kind of
was
true.
only one, maybe not, but that's not the case, at least in my case. Like it's
No, if it was
just,
only one boyfriend, that'd be fine. But if it was the last three, then I might be in trouble.
exactly. And then also just like whatever random person on the street, like we're
Yeah.
accommodating. Like, no.
No. Yeah, that's kind of true. And oh
Yeah.
man.
Ugh, now
This
I'm
is
feeling like, ew, like
that I
how
know.
could I
I'm
have
just
let
like,
myself do that? Like,
I need a
no.
minute.
Yes.
Turn the cameras
Like,
off.
no, 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 no. No more. No more.
I need to go think about my life for a little bit.
Yeah.
On that
Ugh,
note.
I feel like that is gonna be my theme. What would you call that? In lack of vocabulary, like what would you call that? Like a person who's just like
Ooh.
it's like in a
Ah.
way determination, but that's not I don't like that word. But it's more
Ugh.
like, where you don't accommodate other people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know
Like
that we have a good enough word,
unaccommodating.
but we call her a bad bitch. All right.
Yeah. We're gonna
But I
give her
just feel
a
like
description, the bad
we need
bitch.
to get her a description. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think maybe we should make some opposite rules because I really feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's really getting to me. And I'm kind of thinking, like, yeah, what would my path look like for the next 10 years
Yeah.
if I stopped moving? I did do what I wanted to do first and then did what other people, like you say
Mm.
this, I think you say this, I don't know, like putting on your own oxygen mask first
Yeah.
and then tending to other people.
Uh-huh.
And I wanna know, I was like, I took everything so seriously the last, like, 10 years. I was like, "What if for the next 10 years, I just made everything a game? Like, what would happen?" And I'm just like, I just wanna make sure that the next 10 years of my life is, like, the biggest game I've ever played in my life.
Yeah.
Like, you know? Like,
Yeah. I want that
I wanna look
too.
back, and it's so colorful, and it's so
Yeah.
funny, and, like, I
Yeah.
had the most hilarious stories ever in the next,
Yeah.
like, decade of my life. That's what I
Yeah.
want, because it's just
I also
ugh.
just feel like I'm ready for like my 30s to be like the best time I've had so far, like where it's just I don't
Mm.
want to say the best time of my life because I don't want to like put shade on all the years that comes after. But
Yeah,
more
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like I'm just ready to be like let's say that now in 10 years where it's like less than a month until I turn 40 and I look back and I'm just like wow, like how I lived, like what a
Oh.
decade.
Yes, yes. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a reason we met before we turned 30.
Exactly. I'm also
Because it's gonna be
thinking,
amazing.
yes, yes, and yes.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
And ladies, if you wanna see how amazing it's all gonna be, please start listening. I was like, "Start listening today." I was like, "This might be a decade-long project." But
Exactly. You're in for the long run. Like this is the beginning of
Yeah,
a decade
for
of
our lifers.
yeah.
It's gonna be great. So please stay tuned.
Yeah.
And if you're enjoying our content, like and subscribe. And also, I would like to know, like, I'm curious for the Grateful Bitches, if there's one thing that you're gonna do, like the opposite of what you've been doing.
Mm.
I would love to know what that is because
Yes.
I think it's very important. And maybe next episode we should bring some like, okay, this is the exact opposite of what I'm going to do. Like, let's
Yeah.
carry this
I
theme
love
for the
that.
end of the year.
Yeah.
And yeah, comment below, let us know, or DM us at bitch.begrateful on Instagram. Come hang out.
Yes.
It's going to
Coming
be
out.
so fun.
Yeah.
And if you guys ever also, we never put this out there either, but if anyone has something or like a question or something they would like us to muse on, please send us an email, send us a DM, or put a comment, and we will bring it up in the episode so that we can talk about it.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
we'd like to hear from you. We would.
Yeah. I would love to hear like what topics and things like the Grateful Bitches want to hear about or is going through
Yeah.
or, I'm sure we
And
can
you can ask
relate
us
because
questions.
We go through so many
Sensibly.
things. Yes,
Within reason, but ask us
exactly,
the
within
questions.
reason.
We've had so much fun. And until next time.
Be a grateful bitch. Bye.
Bye.